Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly check out Hairdresser Simulator. This is a game that you can find on Steam for about 20 bucks or so, and I have to just stress that I am in no way any good at hairstyling. I have no experience with it. What attracts me to these kinds of games is the ability to generate profit, hire employees, run a business. I like the business aspect of these things. Anyway, there's a campaign mode, there's a sandbox, and there's a character creator, but the character creator, for whatever reason, is all grayed out. Like, you can't actually access it for quite a while. And I think that's a problem. I mean, if you're going to play campaign, start your own business, you should be able to create your character from the beginning of the game. Most games do that. Here, you can't. It's just really weird. So the game will take you through a tutorial on the campaign mode. This is how you wash hair. This is how you shampoo hair. And for the most part, it's just a series of mini games. And I'm actually thankful for that. You experienced hairdresser people out there will be like, oh, this is a pain. I already know how to do this. As someone that has no experience with this kind of thing, it's nice, being handheld through all of this. You need to first shampoo and then, or wash it, then shampoo, then dry, and all that crap. On the bottom left is actually like an overlay as to what you still have to address for that particular mini game. And I will say that sometimes getting the right spots, like trying to get the mouse to recognize that you want this particular section, can be a pain, especially like the undersides, if that makes any, I don't know what it's called, but I guess it's a layer kind of thing, and trying to get that underneath bottom layer is very difficult to click. I'm having trouble getting the right spot for the mouse to recognize that no, I don't want the top part, I want the underneath, the underside. So yeah, you can do a variety of things in this game. In the tutorial, you'll be sort of shown everything, but you'll be able to, color hair. You'll be able to create highlights and different things. I personally don't care, but again, I'm in it to make the money and to level up and see what kind of options I have. And it's the physics in this game aren't that bad. I will say that the window I ran the game in, it for whatever reason shrunk every other window on my desktop. It's just the engine just said, no, we're going to force this particular resolution thingy and everything else on your desktop needs to match or something or other. I don't know. It's just, for whatever reason, it didn't play nice with the rest of the programs on my desktop, but just something to think about. I just think this engine or whatever thing is being used isn't fully optimized. Or anyway, you can create a logo, and it's pretty rudimentary. You can create a name, you can create little pictures on it, you can create the background style. Over time, once you get past all of that gobbledygook and actually start your own business, you'll start in this little, I guess, shack or basement or whatever it is. And typical house flipper style, you have to clean up everything before you actually can buy anything to bring in. This involves opening your wallet and clicking and holding and selling things. Other things might be, pulling out your broom and sweeping up the floor. If you've played House Flipper or any other kind of simulator game, you'll get the idea. Most games do this. The first 5 minutes of the game is usually some kind of cleanup process where you have to take your basement or the shack that you start with and fix it up. And only then can you start buying things to bring in. That seems to be very typical of games like this. Again, during this process, it'll tell you on the right-hand side the tasks that you need to complete in order to complete this process. Again, it's very hand-holdy that way. Again, some people will like that, other people will not. Even when you're buying things from the store, it actually tells you what things you should be buying, and I don't like that. I wish I had more leeway and more decision making over what my starter furniture was, but the tutorial was very adamant about no, you need this particular thing and it needs to be put in this particular spot. Putting up the wallpaper was actually so much easier in the flooring compared to House Flipper, where you have to painting walls in House Flipper takes hours. Whereas in this game, it was just super simple. So I was actually very thankful for that because I really didn't have time to mess with the, House Flipper-esque details. But anyway, you have a tablet which is kind of cool. And again, you'll be able to access a furniture store from here. And it's actually like the things that you can buy from this furniture store are actually quite extensive to some degree. You can even change the colors, like the ceramics, the leather, the metal, the plastic of the chairs. And that's just the one category. You can buy things in sets or you can buy things individually. And you will need some of these things so that your employees, which yes, you can get employees, you will need some of them in order for them to be able to be hired in the first place. What I don't like is that the game doesn't like star or highlight the important things that you need. Like some items are required in order to get a customer in to do their thing. Whereas, some items are just for show, like light fixtures and ceiling fans. Like you don't need those really, but you do need like a station so that you can wash their hair. You need a station for a mirror and a chair and whatever. So it's like I wish the game would like star or highlight the things that you absolutely need, and then the other stuff is like fluff. I wish it would sort of better categorize that. Whenever you buy something, again, this is typical of these simulator games, you buy something, it comes in these boxes for you to unpack, and you kind of just place them. Again, in the tutorial, you're supposed to place them in a particular place in order to get the tutorial to continue. I didn't know this. If you hit left alt, it actually turns on like shadows where you're supposed to be putting all of these things, and I didn't know that. So I'm sitting there designing, and here, I didn't know I was supposed to put them in particular spots. But as you progress in this campaign, you'll be able to buy other salons, and I'm guessing it's just bigger space. Overall, you need to be a certain level and have certain money for that to happen. There's money and prestige in this game. Typically, when you're working on a customer and you complete that job, you'll be able to choose between money and prestige. I always choose money because that's what I do. But I'm a regular Mr. Krabs that way. There's also these salon courses that you can take, and I'm pretty sure they unlock new tools for you to use. Your right mouse button opens up a series of tools that you can mess around with, but all of them are locked until you complete these courses, I believe. There's hair cutting, for example, that I didn't get to yet. There's hair straightening, which I think I have access to already. I just don't do it a whole lot, and so on. So there are certain tools that are locked until you complete these courses. And again, there's a wide variety of different like walls, floors, and ceiling options should you want to mess. But again, everything's kind of locked behind a level requirement. Like you need to be a certain level to unlock this wallpaper, which I think is really silly, to be honest with you. Now, what's cool is that there's actually a customer list calendar thing, the scheduler. So you can see what they want, and then you can assign them to the calendar, making sure to space them out appropriately. And I always pick the easiest ones for a particular reason. Whenever you start hiring employees, they will work so as long as you're working on something. So if you have 0 customers for the day, they earn $0 for you. If you have 1 customer for the day, they make some money. If you have 2 customers for the day, they earn more money, and so on. So what I did, just to sort of cheese the system, I brought in, like, I scheduled 3 persons for myself that only wanted their hair brushed. Yeah, it's weird. They just come in, brush your hair, pay $50, whatever, which, yeah. But at the end of the day, I only made like, $50 for myself, but my employees made like $800. So I'm just sitting there brushing people's hair, and I'm running a successful business brushing people's hair while my employees are doing all the hard and dirty work. It is a thing. You can actually annoy your customers a bit. Like on one instance, I blew a hair dryer at some woman's face for a while, and that actually failed the thing. Some other things people didn't seem to care about. I was able to clip their eyeballs. Not really, but he didn't seem to mind. I guess some people are more patient than others. But over time, this wasn't a bad game per se. Like I had low expectations coming into this, but like kind of like Gas Station Simulator, I kind of got addicted to it. But there's a big but. There's a lot of bugs. After I started hiring employees, I started noticing a lot of bugs. One issue was I hired an employee. I sat a customer down to do their hair, and I couldn't right click to open my tool menu. And I'm like, do I not have the right stations for myself? So I tried buying other stations. It didn't work. I quit the game, loaded it back up again, and then my right mouse button radio wheel worked again. So it was a bug. Like, I guess hiring an employee prevented my access to the tools. I don't, it's just weird. Another issue that I had in terms of like bugs, some tasks don't register that you've completed them. For example, I was straightening some woman's hair with the thing clearly said straighten the hair. So I did, and it was no matter what I did, it just wouldn't complete. Like none of the strands worked. Like it was still 0% no matter which part of the hair I straightened. So like there were instances where the game would not register tasks being completed appropriately. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, you know, this is not an early access. This is a finished game. If you're gonna make a simulator game and release it, then you should be able to complete the tasks that you're trying to do. I mean, what's the point of playing this if you can't? Luckily, like I said, even though I had to fail the lady and like to fail the job and kick her out because my hair straightener wasn't doing the job for whatever reason, my employee still made like $700 for the day. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. I mean, even though I'm screwing up or can't do what I'm supposed to do, it's like I'm still making a killing with these employees. My goal is now going to be, if I come back to this, just cram as many employees into this basement that I've got and get them to work, and I'll just brush hair for a living, and I'll make $1 million. That's my lifelong goal, I guess. So Hairdresser Simulator, do I recommend this title? I say give it more time to cook. There are a lot of bugs with this game that need to be fixed in order for it to be playable, in my opinion. I mean, I enjoy the physics aspect of it. I enjoy the business aspect of it. It's not a game I would probably play long term, but it's better than I thought it would be, but the bugs kind of ruined the whole experience for me. So there you go. That was Hairdresser Simulator. If you guys haven't already subscribed to me on Twitch and YouTube, this is Vince. Thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all next time. Take care.